Welcome back to the Trinity Classroom. I'm Michael York. Today, we're going to take a look at some compliance and regulatory issues. After all, it is the law. So while it's not something that you're probably going to be required to quote back word for word, you do need to have an understanding of these issues as you carry out your day-to-day duties here at Trinity. So let's take a look at the Deficit Reduction Act of 2005. The items that we'll briefly cover here range from the purpose of the Deficit Reduction Act of 2005 to the compliance program and code of conduct, detecting and preventing fraud, reporting non-compliance, even the federal and state regulations and how those regulations are carried out and enforced. And of course, if you have any questions, we'll direct you where to get answers. First of all, this act exists to ensure the highest levels of quality and ethics, to ensure that we conduct business according to federal, state, and local laws, to ensure your personal understanding of the requirements set forth by the Deficit Reduction Act with regard to federal and state false claim laws. The policy of Trinity Healthcare is to ensure that we comply with Section 6032 of the Federal Deficit Reduction Act of 2005. We want to ensure that our billing to the Medicare, state Medicaid, and other federal and state programs is not only accurate, but conforms to all the applicable laws. That's why the heart of this program is the Trinity Code of Conduct that we've referred to in our handbook. We have standards of conduct that govern the behaviors of everyone associated with Trinity. This includes our employees, volunteers, vendors, and contractors. Our compliance officer is responsible for this compliance program. When it comes to detecting and preventing fraud, Trinity expects everyone to be aware of their personal role regarding false claims and fraudulent behavior. Examples of the measures taken to accomplish this are providing staff training, investigating complaints, providing anonymous and confidential reporting, performing audits and risks assessments, protecting employees who report fraud and/or abuse, performing employee background checks corresponding with state and federal agencies. These policies on prevention and detection mean that we ask all employees, contractors, or agents of Trinity to be aware of these policies at Trinity regarding detection and prevention. They're accessible through the compliance officer, and Trinity policies relevant to fraud, of course, include, as we mentioned, our Code of Conduct and the Trinity Employee Handbook. Knowingly submitting false or fraudulent claims for payment to the federal or state government or making or using false records or statements in connection with the submission of those claims for payment to the government are forbidden. A whistleblower or someone reporting outside of Trinity is prohibited from retaliation under federal and state laws, as well as Trinity's corporate policy. Employees acting in violation of this policy are subject to disciplinary action, and that may include possible termination. If you have questions, please direct them to your supervisor, the administrator, or the compliance officer. A copy of this policy is available in the employee lounge or upon request.